Our breakfast. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm not going to get Nancy in there, but we're going to try this again. I'm working with a new phone here, so I think the phone went off. So we're going to do a colored gel polish removal over hard gel. And what I do is, first of all, I'm using Masterworks sanding bands. They're very different from the industry standard. A Masterworks sanding band actually stays cooler on the nail. It removes, hi Sunita, it removes extremely fast. And a couple things to know, especially for those. Thanks for the hearts. Oh, by the way, tapping on the screen will give me some hearts. Let me know I'm on the right track. If you want to share this broadcast, iOS users swipe right, Droid swipe up. I could have that backwards, but anyway, back to the electric file portion of this. It's just me. I prefer working with Koopa U-Powers. I like a good electric file with a lot of torque. And hi, Denise. Because the lesser expensive electric files, when I press down, they'll stop because they don't have enough power to them. So for that reason, I just like to work with Koopas. I've got some that are 20 years old. I don't work for Koopa. I don't get kickbacks. It's just something that I like. They're easy to have maintained. But anyway, when you're talking about electric files, if you're a nail tech, even if you like to do everything by hand, there are a couple areas where it's absolutely necessary to be using an electric file that'll help you out, that'll set your work apart from everybody, from your competition. So that's kind of what I had to say about that. So a good sanding band, such as the Masterworks sanding bands, they grip a gel the same way as a carbide grips an acrylic. So those are some things that are extremely important to know about when you're using an electric file. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm kind of trying to look and see. A lot of you are just joining in really quickly, so I'm glad to see that. So we're about to get started again, removing. And when I'm doing a fill that has a colored gel polish, the very first thing I do is remove the gel. And I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to give my daughter the camera so that she can do that. Oh, and by the way, I do have to share this. This is my view, and I'm listening to the waterfall. Right over there. I don't know how much you're seeing, but I think I have the best place to do nails ever. Anyway, I'm going to flip this around.
This doesn't look plugged in.
It's not plugged in. Okay. Oh, that was Nancy for a moment. Just for a moment. Okay. So what I'm going to do is always, you want a dust collector. You want everything to be drawn away from your face. So we have our dust collectors. They're like $60. It's not going to stop you from getting dust in your salon, but it's going to pull it away from your face, which is exactly what you need. When you're removing gel, always use it at the highest speed that you have. The slower speed that you go at, the more heat and friction your client is going to feel, and the longer it's going to take you to remove the gel. So for those of you that might be intimidated by that, cover a tip with gel, polish it, and try it out on that tip. Better yet, try that same thing out on yourself so that you can see.
Will your dust collectors be available at Premiere?
Oh, we do not have a booth at the Premiere show. I won't be there for that one, but we do have them online, available online for sale, and it comes with two. Oh, here, before I keep going any further, the other thing that I like about our dust collectors is, and this is one area where you will not get what you pay for as far as dust removal units go. The fan is on top of the filter. The filter, it's probably pretty dusty under here. It has a couple bags that I put on it, so the fan is on top of it, which means that the motor doesn't have to be as powerful, which means it's quieter. Whenever I've used dust collecting units where the filter is on top of the fan, it's loud, and because I'm using gel, that filter gets clogged up before I'm done with one client. So I have always needed 2 filters per customer, and that's also a pain to take them outside and bump them out. This way I just take the bags off, I take it to this window here, bump them out, I bump them out, and then put them right back on. So it doesn't do anything to the environment. It's just a little extra dust going on out there. All right, so I'm going to get back to this. Now when you're removing gel polish, I'm just going to commit. It's on high. you press in and go from right to left. You can see with one swipe, it removes quite a bit of polish. And what I do is I remove the polish from the entire surface of the nail, but I'm going to be leaving a ring of color around the nail, because I do not want to have an electric file on high near the natural nail. I do not want to give her any lines of demarcation. But when you're talking about saving time, have it on high, have a good sanding band, press in, and don't do this. You're scratching. Whenever you do this, you're just scratching the polish off, and it seriously, your time is valuable. Your time is money. The longer it takes you, the fewer people you can get in a day. So,
can I see your edible speed? Oh, e-file speed.
Yes, right here. I have my U-Power. This is a cordless U-Power, and I have it on full speed. So that's what makes it the quickest for me. And like I said, I do struggle with e-files that don't have as much torque. So if you are looking at investing in an electric file, you're going to need to start at minimum at $250 for a good electric file to remove the polish. The other thing is that I use traditional gel polishes, which means they do not soak off. I always use a hard gel underneath it because it protects their nails, the client's nail, from the solvents that are used in soaking gel polishes off. So her nail underneath here is going to be much healthier than if I use a soakable gel and keep soaking it on and taking it on and off and on and off. So this always remains intact. I'm just going to fill it in at the cuticle area. The other thing about soakable gel polishes is they are thicker. So the nail always looks a little bit more natural when you have a traditional color as opposed to a soakable gel color. And I think lastly is that they also file easier. A traditional or a non-soakable gel color files like butter, whereas any type of a soakable gel kind of files like rubber. So there's a little more effort in removing them, not a lot. You know, I know that we've invested a lot of money in our colored gel products at our salon, so I'm not for throwing out soakable gel colors. We have them here, I will use them here, because it's my belief that if a gel color covers and cures, it's good.
Why more natural looking?
Why is it more traditional one more natural looking?
Yeah.
A traditional gel polish is more natural looking because it's thinner than a soakable gel color. Even if you're just doing it so directly on the nail, you'll still see more of a thickness back at the cuticle area with a soakable gel than you will with a traditional over a well-shaped hard gel. Plus, by using a hard gel, you also then can allow your client to have any length, any shape that they want. And for those that are using soakable colored gels that are telling you to rest your clients, you know that as a nail tech, that is never a good idea, because your client knows that if they have to rest their nails, something's wrong. Otherwise, you would keep doing it. Plus, you're no longer able to give your customers maintenance-free nails, because now they've got to walk around without it, and they're going to walk around wondering, do I really want to keep having this done? You want your client to always love their nails at all times, not have any issues with them. They will be happier. Anytime you don't have a client in your chair or a client that's away is potential to lose that client. So that's the other reason I'm not a big proponent of soakable colored gel manicures, among the other reasons that I've just listed. Now, at this point, I have turned my electric file down to low, so that I can, and what I'm doing with the sanding band is I'm actually pushing back the cuticle, removing any cuticle that's adhered to her natural nail plate. Then I'm turning it sideways. I'm not removing that color with the hard, with this V point, the cutting edge. I'm turning it so the round part of the electric file removes the gel color closest to her natural nail, and that also will help prevent lines of demarcation. And I also, because I like as few steps, as few products as possible. And what the sanding band allows me to do is not have to change bits, to use extra tools to, you know, get in really close, because this does get in very close. I know that a lot of people really like Skyber bits, but that's another bit that you have to clean and sanitize between your customers. Not to mention, I just found this out from, I don't have this problem because I'm never removing the mandrel, but anytime you take a bit out and put it back in, you get dust in there, and eventually your mandrel won't sit all the way in, and you have to send it in to be maintained.
What speed do you have it when you're doing the cuticle area?
When I'm doing the cuticle area on my Coupa U-Power, I have it on 2, and it's just barely on 2. So I keep it pretty slow, because what I want to do is I want it to be just fast enough that it doesn't stop when I press down. Because all I'm interested in doing is lightly etching her natural nail, as well as blending in or removing the rest of the gel color on her, that where it meets her natural nail. So when it comes, I don't know if we've got this now. I'm also talking, and when I talk, it takes me a little bit longer too as I'm working. But if you want, you can take a look at the timestamp on this and see how long it's actually taken me to prep her nails, which is all this Periscope is about. We had a Periscope last week on how to fill, just do a regular fill. And we're going to be uploading that onto our YouTube channel, so you can always go and check that out, what my next step would be. But I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter, especially for those that are kind of taking a break at work to check it out. But this is pretty much real time. This is real time in the salon, other than the amount of talking that I'm doing, which does distract me a little bit. So we're going to have a Periscope posting or broadcast. We're going to shoot for at least once a week, and then get them up on our YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is Gelmaster 1000. So if you haven't been there, go to YouTube, look me up under Gelmaster 1000. You can like my page, and then whenever, or subscribe, and then whenever I post something new, you will be automatically notified that there's a new video. So if you do happen to miss one of our Periscope posts, you should be able to catch up with it when we repost it onto YouTube. So, and if there are any little things that you would like to see, especially in the way of hard gels, please let me know. Love taking suggestions, and we'll try and get those things up. From here, especially with my Masterworks products, I dust. I use the nail dehydrator. I never cleanse, because oftentimes when you cleanse, you pull oil off the skin back onto the nail, and that can cause lifting. I can turn this dust collector, and I have been talking the whole time over the dust collector, so obviously it's not too loud to speak over, but this is pretty much my prep work for doing a colored gel nail. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go from my Master Prep to my Master Bond, and then I'm going to put the gel on, because our bonder does not need to be cured, or you do not let it air dry. There are no acids in it. So it is very gentle. And then our Master Gel that I use to fill is a low to no heat, so she doesn't get a heat spike. It's hypoallergenic, so even the people with some of the most severe cases of contact dermatitis can safely use our product. And I use it for everything: building, filling, sealing, encasing, you name it. I've probably done it with our Master Gel. So that's going to be it for the broadcast. I'm just going to do this a second. Nope, that's ringtone. I'm going to flip it around. Background. So that's it. I hope I didn't make this too long for you guys. And hopefully we will see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.